There is a white powder sitting in pantries right now that millions of people consider dangerous. Yet this exact substance is an amino acid that your own body produces naturally every single day. That substance is monosodium glutamate, widely known as MSG or Ajinomoto. We are going to look at the molecular reality of this ingredient to see why public perception and biological facts are so far apart.
Great cooking begins with getting the basics right. Welcome to Cooking Basics, only on Deepaks Kitchen. Every Sunday at 11 a.m.
To find the truth, we will trace its discovery in Japan, examine a specific medical panic from 1968, and locate exactly where this ingredient hides in the whole foods you already eat. I will lay out the historical timeline and the raw safety data from the FDA. Your job is to weigh that evidence and make your own judgment. This widespread anxiety is a legacy of a specific media narrative that began decades ago, rather than a byproduct of modern biochemistry. The scientific record starts in 1908. Professor Kikunai Ikeda was studying a stihuri taste profile that didn't fit the standard categories of sweet, sour, salty, or bitter. He named this fifth taste umami. To isolate what was causing this specific flavor, Professor Ikeda analyzed traditional seaweed broth, extracting the active compound directly from the kelp. MSG is the sodium salt of glutamic acid. This amino acid is a basic building block of protein, present in virtually every living thing. Modern MSG is no longer extracted from kelp. Instead, it is produced through the natural fermentation of crops like sugar beets, sugarcane, or molasses. This is the same fermentation process used globally to cultivate staples like wine, vinegar, and yogurt. MSG is a naturally fermented salt. On a biological level, it is identical to the glutamate found in nature. The public health panic began in 1968, when physician Dr. Robert Ho Man Kwok wrote a letter to the New England Journal of Medicine. He described headaches and palpitations after eating at Chinese restaurants. He speculated MSG might be the cause, though he provided no data to prove it. American media outlets immediately adopted the term Chinese restaurant syndrome. By tethering a general medical complaint to a specific ethnic cuisine, these headlines turned a single anecdotal letter into a widespread cultural warning. As the headlines spread, more people began reporting these ailments. Psychologists call this the nocebo effect, a phenomenon where negative physical symptoms occur simply because a person expects them to. This timeline tracks the panic against toxicology. Media hysteria peaked in the 1960s, but independent 1990s reviews led the FDA to categorize MSG as safe. Placebo-controlled clinical trials on individuals believing they were sensitive consistently failed to trigger reactions. Meanwhile, cooks across Thailand, China, and Indonesia have used MSG as a daily household staple for over a century, without a corresponding health crisis. The record reveals Chinese restaurant syndrome as a product of cultural anxiety and psychological expectation rather than a toxicological reality. To understand why the body treats MSG as a normal nutrient, you have to look at how glutamate exists in food. It is either bound to other proteins or free. Only free glutamate activates the savory umami receptors on your tongue. This chart tracks natural free glutamate. Ripe tomatoes contain 246 milligrams per 100 grams. When food ages or ferments, proteins break down, releasing free glutamate. Parmesan cheese contains roughly 1,680 milligrams. Dried shiitake mushrooms hold 1,060 milligrams. The glutamate in a tomato is chemically identical to the glutamate in an MSG shaker. Once ingested, your body metabolizes both in the same way. Most adults safely process about 13 grams of naturally occurring glutamate every day as part of a standard diet. If you eat savory, whole foods, avoiding this molecule is biologically impossible. Now that we have mapped the chemistry, we can look at the practical dosage. Because MSG is a concentrated flavor enhancer, it isn't used in the same volume as salt. This scale compares your daily natural intake against a culinary dose. A typical serving of food only needs about half a gram of added MSG to reach peak flavor. For a family-sized meal, a quarter to a half teaspoon is the standard amount. Research shows that to trigger even mild temporary symptoms in sensitive individuals, a person would have to consume over 3 grams of pure MSG on an empty stomach. From the fermentation tanks to the glutamine naturally present in a ripe tomato, the biological evidence is consistent. The final decision on exactly how to season your meals belongs to you.
I'd love to hear from you. Tell me in the comments what cooking topic or kitchen science you'd like me to explain next. Your suggestions could be featured in an upcoming episode of Deepak Kitchen. Thank you so much for watching Deepak Kitchen. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. New episodes of Cooking Basics premiere every Sunday at 11 a.m.